Weegar did it at their own peril. Once cut from a AAA team, he is now 3 weeks removed from signing a lucrative long-term deal with the Calgary Flames. What a story. And by the time we are finished with you tonight, someone will be opting for the movie rights. Who would play you?
Danny DeVito.
Perfect.
Hey.
I don't see the resemblance, but good choice. We will get to your compelling backstory in a moment, but first to tonight's Battle of Alberta. Louis.
Well, MacKenzie, your second Battle of Alberta, and obviously I think it lives up to the hype with the intensity. What was your take on tonight? It looked like you were playing the game you wanted to play, but it's amazing how fast it can go away if you sleep for a second, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great to play in these games. They're electric. The fans are buzzing, and it's a high-paced game. Physical out there, but just like you said, we're up a goal going in the third, and all of a sudden, it was a tough loss. I think we blew that one ourselves.
Yeah.
The trade, the guts of which was you and Jonathan Huberdeau for Matthew Tkachuk, occurred in July. You had established yourself as a top 2 defenseman in Florida. Shafiq Hassan then asks, what was your immediate reaction to being informed about the trade to Calgary?
Definitely shocked. I didn't really see it coming. Obviously, you hear rumors. You're approaching UFA, and you never really know, I guess. That's the business of it. But I was definitely shocked. I was up in Mont-Tremblant with my mom and my sister, and, Zito called. And after I hung up, I called, family and friends pretty quickly and just kind of sat on a rock for a second after and just kind of took it all in. But yeah, I was pretty shocked. Speaking
of Jonathan Huberdeau as your Flames and Panthers teammate, are you guys finally over this?
This is a pretty good scrap, too.
Yeah, I haven't, it'd be nice to get the lefts going again. It's been a long time since I've gotten those lefts out, so.
Are you a naturally lefty?
Yeah, I am, but me and Hubie are over it. If he gives me a hard time, I don't have a problem reminding him.
You warn him, right? I'm a lefty.
Yeah. Louis, you fought a lot of guys
that I played with
whom you became teammates
How was that
later?
conversation when you went to Florida and finally we're teammates now and you walk up for the first time?
Yeah, it was a little awkward at first, for sure. But it's weird because, obviously the boys joke about it, but then obviously Achari came in, to Florida, and he pumped me twice. So when he saw me,
I remember those.
Yeah, so when he saw me after,
lefty
it was
well, right?
I got a little taste of my own medicine after that.
We should give the specifics of that. That was you and Jonathan Huberdeau in the Quebec League, you with the Mooseheads, he with the St. John Sea Dogs, 10 years ago. At the time, he had already been drafted 3rd overall by Florida. You were dreaming of an NHL career. So let's get to that and the odds you overcame to have one. Cut from a AAA team in Nepean. For a lot of players, when that happens, that's really the harsh reality that your dream is over. Why was it not for you?
I think it was just, the love of the game. I love being with the boys, and, I've always kind of, I was lucky enough to be on great teams, Junior B, Junior A, obviously with the Mooseheads, and kind of excelled from there. But, definitely some ups and downs when I was younger, getting cut, and, you're a young kid and you're still so passionate about the game, it can be a little hurtful, and, you want to be with, the top guys all the time. But, it felt even better when you overcome that kind of stuff.
You're from Barrhaven, which is a suburb of Ottawa. We found a story online in which the focus was how you were rebounding after being cut by a AAA team and being twice passed over in the OHL draft. This is starting to sound like a country and western song now. But this is you some 11 years ago talking about how you rebounded.
Well, obviously being cut from AAA the first years and then being named Rookie of the Year in Junior B was obviously a big surprise, but you always got to make those as confidence boosters and just keep it going for playoffs like we did in Winchester. And obviously getting a lot of experience when you go that far into the playoffs.
Well, you haven't changed a bit, wow. MacKenzie. What kind of memories does that bring back?
It brings back great memories. I had a great time, when I was younger with the Junior B and Junior A teams. And, I always forget that, the Rookie of the Month and all that stuff. I think we got a little gift card for those prepaid credit cards, and I thought I was the richest guy. So, it brings back a lot of memories. And just like you said, you overcome a lot of things in life to get to where you are. And, I got to give a lot of credit to my coaches and to my, my friends and my family, because, I wouldn't be here without them for sure.
That year in Nepean was special, Louis.
You were let go by Halifax. You go to Nepean. Yeah. You're playing around Christmas time. They wanted to bring you back. Yeah. You decided not to go. Yeah. What made you decide not to go back?
You know, I think a lot of it had to do with, you know, we were on a great team. And just the guys, you know, my teammates, you know, I could tell it was going to be a special group. And I didn't want to, you know, leave them behind. I felt like if I left, then I'd be, you know, hurting the team and stuff like that. Also, my coach, you know, he would do anything for me. He offered to drive me to North Bay, you know, 3 hours away when my grandmother died at like 1 in the morning. You know, it was just a really solid group of people, and I didn't want to leave that group because it was just a really special group.
But then 2 years with the Mooseheads, you won the Memorial Cup with Nathan MacKinnon in 13, so you were on the radar. I think you were drafted 164th amongst North American skaters. So you and your parents decide to go to the draft at the Prudential Center. That was the Nathan MacKinnon draft. He was first overall, and then you waited and you waited and you waited. What happened?
You know, I guess I was just misinformed. I don't know.
You never really do know.
Yeah, you never really know. I guess there was, you know, talks about the 4th or the 5th round, you know, whatever it may be. But, you know, I was waiting a long time. But I think what made that, you know, the most special was, you know, Florida going out of their way and making a trade. So it didn't quite seem like it was, you know, a 7th round draft pick. It, you know, it made me feel like they wanted me. That's what made that night really special.
Yeah, the day was saved when Florida made that trade with Montreal to get the 7th round pick so they could use it on you. And that made this picture possible before you left the Prudential Center. Make the introductions here.
On the left, that's my Uncle Matt, who's my agent. And then on the right, that's my mom. And me in the middle, I'm about 215, it looks like there, and about 15% body fat. So I think I've come a long way from there too.
Well, you talked about your journey, and one of the things we talked about this morning was the effort you had to put in to change your game and become a better player, not just on the ice, but off the ice, as far as in the gym and weight room. And you talked about it. You had to really dial into your physical training with your trainer.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing for me is the off-ice stuff. You know, becoming a true pro outside the rink, becoming more of a man. And, you know, Sean Young, my trainer, I got to give him a lot of love. You know, he brought me to where I am now, and he's made me more of a, you know, physical presence out there. You know, I got the endurance and the strength and whatnot. So, you know, I think that, you know, comes down to, you know, just believing in yourself and then just bearing down and, you know, just becoming a true professional.
Back to the draft for just 1 second, just so people know how agonizing the wait could have been for you and your parents. Take a look at this. You were 6th from the bottom. The last pick of the entire draft, but easily aside from Alexander Barkov, who was the Panthers' first-round pick that year, you were the Florida's Panthers' best pick of 2013. They did, though, send you to the East Coast League to start. How far away did the NHL seem at that time?
Yeah, that was as far as it could ever be. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was in Adirondack, and Dale Talon gave me a nice call, and that was a call I won't forget for sure. He really gave it to me, and the tears started flowing, and I was at the airport, and I, you know, called my mom, like, is this really happening? And you go down there, and, you know, that's when I, you know, in the back of my head is, you know, you got to become a man and a pro and be true to yourself and your teammates and really dial it in off the ice. So it was a wake-up call for sure. It felt like it was far away, but you know, we're here. So I battled through it.
All right, then let's fast forward to current events and the payday. Your uncle, your agent, did some fine work with general manager Brad Treliving to come up with an 8-year deal that you signed, I think, about 3 weeks ago. It should give you a lifetime of financial security. When you think about your hockey journey, what does that deal mean to you?
Yeah, it really means everything to me. But I think, you know, you talk to any hockey player, I think, you know, you wouldn't be where you're at without your family. So, you know, now that I can really support everybody, and my mom, my dad, and you know, everybody's had to grind. You know, I came from, you know, almost nothing growing up as a kid, and both parents had to really grind. So, you know, I lived with another family for a long time too. So now that, you know, that's, you know, set in stone, everybody can kind of, you know, relax and, you know, just enjoy life now and enjoy the NHL, you know, and I couldn't be more thankful for everybody around me to get that deal done.
Well, obviously the deal made perfect sense to Daryl Sutter when he was asked about it after you signed. Let's have him sum it up.
Good player, good city, good team.
All Right then. So what else do we need to know?
Good coach.
Actually, you can elaborate a little bit on that. But
actually, he did go on to say you're a very coachable player.
Yeah. It's been good here. He's right. We got a good team, and it's been a great city. Gotten to know it a little bit now, and really feeling comfortable, and everybody's made it feel like home now. And yeah, it's been good, and I'm happy that Daryl says his one or two compliments here and there, and you got to take them when you can. But it's been great so far. I'm couldn't be happier to sign here long term.
One of the things that he's been able to do is keep you guys together in your pairs, and also the forward line group together for 7 games, which doesn't happen that often with injuries, just putting different guys in the lineup. How has that been for you getting adjusted to a new team? It has to have helped you in that regard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Daryl. He's been around a long time. I don't think he panics with the lines, or if he sees something and he'll change it. But it's been good to work with Tanny. I think he's going to be consistent every night. I think it's me that has to step into a bigger role and get a little bit more comfortable with the systems, and getting a little bit more poise out there, getting my confidence back. It's sometimes it's not so easy coming to a new team, but Tanny's been great, and we're just going to get better and better throughout the year. So it seems like that's kind of the decor that we have right now, and I don't think they're planning on changing it up soon, so we'll just keep getting better and better.
Question from Ian McNiven. MacKenzie, what player did you look up to the most growing up, and who did you try to model your game after? I think we know the answer, but confirm it for us.
I can give you the classic answer, my cousin Craig.
Right.
But
Craig Rivet.
Yeah, Craig Rivet. But
played 16 seasons in the NHL.
Yeah, he was around a long time, but I wouldn't say I model my game around him. I think he's more of a defenseman. He was a little tougher, but I think Drew Doughty would be definitely a guy I looked up to growing up.
I fought your cousin one time. He was a tough guy.
Yeah, he liked to go after. I used to watch his fights and get all fired up before games and stuff like that.
We ask all the hard-hitting questions on this program. Ryan Heath would like to know if you've kept any of your cars from Florida.
Unfortunately not. I had to change them to some trucks now.
Pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Hockey is such a different place in NHL cities north versus those in the southern part of the U.S. So this question is from Ann M. What have been some of your best experiences outside of hockey since moving to Calgary? Places you've been, fan interactions, funny stories, etc.
I don't know if I have any, one story or one place. The restaurants have been great. I've gone, to a few nice new restaurants with the guys. Weather's different for sure. Funny stories. I was trying to think of some today. No one's making me laugh right now. Zadorov's got a lot of jokes, but sometimes he can get a little painful at times, so I got to give him a little shout out. He can be a little painful.
Well, it looks like Coleman's a little bit of a joke too. He poked you here. You didn't see it, but he walked by and gave you a little.
Yeah, there's lots of guys in there. I don't think we're all warmed up. I think they'll start razzing me, and I'm sure Yans is gone now, so. No more pranks so far. Yando is always pranking me, but I'm sure the pranks will start coming.
Put it this way, has there been any one moment that made you realize, hey, I'm in a major North American, Canadian market right now versus where I was?
Yeah, just being out in the city, I think there's been so many times where, people have come up to me and, wanted a picture or an autograph. And, in Florida, there's, you could walk down the street and with 10,000 people and nobody would really recognize you. So the fans have been great. The interactions have been great. No one's, giving you a hard time. Everyone's excited that we're here. And that's exactly what, I want.
MacKenzie, thanks for your time. Great to have you on the program in your Hockey Night in Canada debut. And it's always great to hear the story of someone who has beaten the odds the way you have.
Yeah, thank you very much. This has been special, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, MacKenzie Weegar was